Did India get their Champions Trophy team combination wrong?
We just have 2 more ODI matches to go until the Champions Trophy starts, and it's important for the Indian team to find the right combination for their squad. And there are few things to keep in mind, right? We only have 3 matches in the Champions Trophy before the knockout stages. The matches are happening in Dubai, which means the conditions in Dubai are fairly different. And even though we've been a fairly successful ODI squad, we did lose the last series against Sri Lanka in Sri Lanka. So there are few things to keep in mind in terms of how we are going to win matches, especially in the Champions Trophy.
Ever since Rohit Sharma has taken over India's ODI captaincy, we've played 38 games and won 26 of them, which means a winning percentage of 68% for this team. In this time, India has been a really good batting side, getting an average score of 296 with their batters averaging 37.2. Along with this and a lot of teams batting well and breaching the 300 plus mark a lot of times, India have been a fairly good bowling side as well, restricting their oppositions to 252 on average. In the group stages, India are going to be playing Pakistan, Bangladesh and New Zealand. And surprisingly, Bangladesh has been the team that India has struggled the most against under Rohit Sharma's captaincy. Of the 4 matches that we've played against Bangladesh, we've lost 3 of these and only won 1 of them. Whereas against New Zealand, that record is intact with India winning all 5 of the games that they've played against New Zealand under Rohit. Against Pakistan as well, India hasn't lost a game. In the 3 matches that they've played, there have been 2 wins and 1 no result. One thing that stands out is that against these 3 teams and the struggles that India has had against Bangladesh, it has mainly been against the Bangladesh spinners. Mehdi Hasan and Shakib Al Hasan in particular had India spun up in a web.
Now let's talk about India against these 3 teams in ICC 50 over tournaments. Against Bangladesh, we have played 6 matches against them and lost only 1. Whereas when you look at New Zealand, we have played 11 matches against them and we have lost more than we have won. We have won 5 matches and lost 6. And against Pakistan, we of course have the upper hand. We have played 13 matches against them, won 10 of them and only lost 3 of them. However, the last time we did face Pakistan in the Champions Trophy, it was the 2017 Champions Trophy final, and we of course lost the finals against Pakistan for them to win their first Champions Trophy ever.
Now let's take a look at India's winning formula in all these ODI matches against these 3 teams. We looked at historical data since 2017 to establish what kind of scores have been made by the teams batting first or fielding first in order to win or lose matches. In games where India have won the match while batting first, their average score against these teams has been 344. And batting first has generally proved to be beneficial for India as they've won 11 out of the 17 games where they've batted first. In the games that India have won when they fielded first, they've been able to restrict the opposition to just 226. India's record here as well is even Stevens with them batting first as they've won 12 out of 17 games while fielding first.
Now of course, this is India against these teams overall, but we know that these matches are happening in Dubai and the conditions are of course different. Now there's been a lot of conversations about the conditions in Dubai and how the pitch might play, also why the Indian selectors have selected a lot more spinners in this squad. Now early on this year, the pitches in Dubai had something for everyone. The pace bowlers did get seam and bounce and swing early on, starting off in the first couple of overs, after which the pitch did settle down wherein the batters could capitalize and score big. Spinners however did struggle to turn the ball and get a lot of wickets, but of course this is just regarding T20 cricket. And one of the main reasons the spinners did struggle is because by the end of the second innings there was a lot of dew, because of which the spinners were struggling to grip the ball. Now because these ODI matches in the Champions Trophy are going to be day-night matches, dew will certainly come into play in the second innings. So not only will the toss be important, but the way the captains rotate the bowlers in the second innings will be a lot more important. Chasing on this ground has been relatively easier, wherein teams batting second have won 58% of the game. Even in the ongoing ILT20, the average first innings score in the matches that have been played in Dubai is 153, which is not a lot considering the amount of runs being scored in T20 cricket around the world.
In addition to the pitch report and the conditions, we also looked at how pacers and spinners have fared in Dubai since 2021. Over these last 3 seasons, the pacers have been far better bowlers as compared to the spinners. The spinners have been able to keep it tight and have better economy rates, so these are some bowlers that you will be using in those middle overs. The roles for pacers and spinners will be very clear because there's a clear differentiation in how they've both performed since 2021 in Dubai. Because of the fact that there are conditions that aid the fast bowlers, this is also reflective in their stats itself. Fast bowlers have had a strike rate of just a little over 33 and they've done better than their spinning counterparts who have a strike rate of 43. However, the spinners make up for their lack of wickets by being extremely economical. The average economy rates of spinners has been 3.98 ever since 2021, and this means that teams will have to make sure that they're using these spinners strategically, especially in those middle overs. However, the economy rates of pacers has been slightly higher at 4.4. And every time the IPL matches have happened in Dubai, the pacers have dominated. Out of the top 10 wicket takers at the Dubai venue, 7 of them them are pacers. We're also seeing this trend in the latest ILT20 as well, where in the top 10 wicket takers there are only 2 spin bowlers and the rest 8 are pacers. And while the formats might be different, there is a clear distinction that fast bowlers get a lot more out of the surface, especially early on with that new ball, and so it will be important for teams to capitalize and make sure that they get early inroads. And for the spinners, it's going to be important that they keep things tight and not leak runs, because other than that, they're not really going to be of much use. It's been a struggle for spinners off late to be able to get wickets consistently.
Now, coming back to the Indian team and the teams we are playing against. Now, the average score of these teams in Dubai is hovering around the 250 mark. But New Zealand here are in a bit of a disadvantage because they've only played one match, whereas Pakistan is at the other extreme, where they have played 8 matches and also have the highest team average with a score of 271. What's interesting is even though Pakistan have played 8 matches here in Dubai, they've only won 2 out of those 8 matches. Whereas India, who have played 6 matches here in Dubai, have won 5 out of 6. This shows that India is in a clear advantage because not only have we dominated in this ground, but we have had Indian players play in Dubai because of the IPL.
Now, this has been a look at all of the statistics and the data that we have and how teams have fared at Dubai. Having said all of this, India does have a potential squad that will be going to Dubai to play the Champions Trophy, and it's going to be important that India gets their team selections, their playing 11s, and their combination of bowlers or batters right. Now, we know that Varun Chakravarti has been added to the England ODI series, and it's going to be important to see if he performs well and if he then makes it to the Champions Trophy squad. In the case that Varun Chakravarti does do well and get into the Champions Trophy squad, he will be replacing a spin bowling all-rounder because India will have to ensure that they maintain the balance. The other reason why this is going to happen is if Jasprit Bumrah is injured and misses the Champions Trophy, India will have to make sure that they play a proper pace bowler. India will have to carry 3 proper pacers in that 15-man squad because we know that the conditions are going to aid the fast bowlers, and whatever happens, India will be playing at least 2 pacers in their playing 11. Now, while our top 6 or 7 of the squad is fixed and we know all the players who are going to be featuring there, the only replacement from the 2023 ODI World Cup is that Surya Kumar Yadav won't be featuring, and instead you have Hardik Pandya who will be making his place in that squad. And so it's going to be important to see if India trusts their spin bowling all-rounders to come in and be able to do the job of bowling as pure spinners, or if India go ahead and play 2 specialist spinners in Kuldeep and possibly Varun Chakravarti. Either way, India will have to place a lot of trust in either their batting department or their bowling department and hope that on the given day that particular department performs. Knowing Gautam Gambhir, the all-rounders will definitely get a push and might be asked to play ahead of some specialist spinners, but India will really have to make sure that they gamble on this carefully because of the records that we've spoken about and the stats that are on display, where India will need specialist spinners in the middle overs to ensure that they're able to choke and have a stranglehold on their opposition. This has been our video on the Champions Trophy and the things that India might need to do to ensure that they win these matches. If you've liked this video, definitely leave a like, share this with your friends. Most importantly, subscribe, leave your comments down below, let us know what you think. All of our socials and links are in the description. Thank you so much for watching. Peace.